And we back.
We Bizac, ladies and gentlemen.
Shout out
We
to Black
back.
Dads.
Our executive producer is in her study. I don't know what happened with the TV screens and everything turning off, but as you can see, we're lit back up.
That was a little scary. Club going up.
Hey man, especially in these times, they be having all types of weather stuff going on. But hey, we were talking about Clint. So catch me up. We were talking about Clint. You were saying he couldn't shoot anymore.
Yes. So
Well,
the
never.
Hawks have purged everyone who can't shoot and dribble. And I'm happy to see him go to a team where he could potentially win a championship because they are loaded. But I'm also happy to have cleared that from what we have. And I'm happy to see Ansi Salah flip that into something of value to get something back when we had nothing there. That was great.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So yeah, you're right. So the Hawks have had in the past, with every GM that we have, is we drive our players' value into the dirt when it's time to trade them. With Clint had an tendency to get hurt, ankles, foot type thing, and he would be out for months at a time. So the last time he got hurt, we just said, don't even. We all the parties included knew that they were going to move on from each other. So instead of getting him hurt, they just let him kind of rehab, and it looked like he was mentally checked out, but it didn't seem like everybody wasn't on the same page. So I get why you got rid of him.
It was a tricky situation. I will tell y'all right now, if the Lakers did not own our pick, we would have cut bait with him and he would have been a Laker. In hindsight, that was the best case scenario for the Lakers. But since we couldn't cut him because that would have influenced our pick, we kept him. And this was kind of I think this is a little Landry Fields, because you should have made, clearly has value, 3 years, $21.5 million. You could have traded him for something. With that being said, hold on. Go ahead.
Hold on. That's what I was saying was, and that was my point, is if you look back at the Nickeil Alexander-Walker trade, we gave up $7 million of trade exception money and cash. So now we've gotten $4 million of that $7 million we gave up. Plus, I'm just using algebra and arithmetic and saying cash is cash. I know it's probably not the exact same amount, but they cancel each other out.
Right.
So you sign Nickeil Alexander-Walker and you get a second round pick swap, which doesn't really matter, but you get that second. You essentially assign Nickeil Alexander-Walker for a second round pick and $3 million is what you gave up to be able to sign him, which is, I mean, that's just basic arithmetic. At the end of the day, I'm saying I'm getting the money back that I spent to get a better backcourt. Better backcourt. I like it.
I think that the other part was the way that Clint played and the way that we wanted to play was too different, and it was starting to stunt the growth of Okongwu. We played completely different as far as spacing because Okongwu is at least a willing and reasonable shooter. So it just changes the way that our team looks and changes the way that we play. And I think he just didn't match up with what we were trying to do as far as spacing wise. Hence the reason we went and got Kristaps Porzingis.
Too many layups. You can't miss all the bunnies, man. And then get out rebounded.
Yeah.
It's cool to miss bunnies when you get leading the league in rebound, get 22, 15, 21, 24. That's cool.
He's still a good rebounder. He just wasn't going to get enough rebounds with the amount of time that he was playing. Now, I think that now he's even deeper on the bench, but I think that him and Steven Adams, they're both older. You can kind of not have to play you can basically alternate them, or Steven Adams don't have to play back-to-backs, but whatever it is, you have the insurance policy as they're headed to clearly try to compete with the champion OKC Thunder. Now, on more unfortunate news, we did lose a guy who I think we had all intentions of keeping. Larry Nance Jr. has signed with the Cavs. This kind of hurt because he was in the mold of a guy who we really wanted to keep. Larry was basically knocking down every three that we asked him to. He could play the 3 or the 4 like we've been kind of wanting as far as a big.
4-5.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me, 4-5. This is a tough loss, but I also understand Cleveland is his home. Cleveland is a really good basketball team. If I can go home and play for a good basketball team, what do you expect me to do other than say yes?
Yeah, and I think I don't think with us signing Kristaps and apparently going to make other moves, one, our front court with the drafting of Asa Newell just got a little bit more logjam. And two, I don't know if we wanted to dedicate the money that he signed for to him versus keep that flexibility to add, because we still got to add 2 more roster spots.
Yes,
so
we have 12 players. You have to get to 14, and we could go up to 15, which is great for us. Oh, just stop that right there. It's a perfect time to go right here. Ta-da! This is the team.
I was about to say you ain't catch the lead in.
Yes. Number 1, Trae Young, still your starting point guard. Dyson Daniels, still your starting shooting guard. Richelet, still your starting 3. Jalen Johnson, still your starting 4. Every clip shows Kristaps Porzingis as starting 5. I don't think that there is a chance in hell that Kristaps Porzingis is our starting 5. Number 1, I think that him off the bench gives our bench a lot of juice as far as scoring ability. And while Kristaps does give us a unique dynamic that we haven't had before, the other thing is he's only probably going to play 50 or 60 games. So you want Okongwu, who we're
equivalent.
Yeah, right. We're down to quarters with him. But I think that Okongwu, you're more invested in long term. It just makes more sense. Then off the bench, you have Kobe Buffkin, who I think is going to be the backup point guard if healthy. Then you would have Nickeil Alexander-Walker as your backup 2, Luke Kennard or Vit Krejci as your backup 3. And then you would have either Asa Newell or Mohamed Gay as your 4 and Kristaps Porzingis as your 5. And like he said, we have $7 million and 2 roster spots to fill. I assume we are going to get a big. Me and Reggie are begging for some combination of Ben Simmons and Bol Bol. And if you don't like it, you can go to hell.
We definitely need a wing. I think we need a backup wing. That Luke Kennard, Vit Krejci backup 3. I like Vit, but I wouldn't mind an upgrade.
I don't mind Vit being our third wing if you go get I know y'all hate Ben Simmons. And we've probably the team that ruined Ben Simmons. So it would only make sense to be the team to revive him. But if you can get Ben, who could play the 1 or play the 5, and then Bol Bol, who I think can play the 3 through the 5 in whatever kind of combination you want to make it. The big thing that Ansi Salah has said is optionality. And I think that's in the ability to do things, but optionality also in where players play. I'm also not against going to just get a committed 4 or 5 that can shoot and then going to get a committed, legitimate backup point guard. Backup point guard is still my biggest concern. I just need the non-Trae Young minutes to be competent, to be effective, and to at least keep us at even.
Ben Simmons does solve a lot of those issues because then you could run Ben at the 4, Kristaps at the 5. You can then have Mo Gay, Newell kind of just work to, come along. And then you could still play Vit at the 3 if you wanted to.
Right.
Or you could put, now you put Kennard at the 2 and Nickeil Alexander-Walker at the 1, and you kind of relegate Buffkin. And then maybe you trade Buffkin or Gay for another player or something like that. Ben Simmons is the 4.
You could still run him as a big hub, or you could run him as a traditional point guard. I know I'm getting in the 2K of things, but that's always been his selling point. Now I know he said that he don't want a minimum contract. I need you to come to reality, Benjamin.
Boy,
you lucky to be here. The next place you could be playing is in Australia or New Zealand. So humble yourself. But there is a path to righteousness, as I would like to say. Garrison Matthews, I assume you're probably going Larry Nance. You are going Keaton Wallace. I think that we
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Right
makes the
there
most
with his
sense.
brother.
Right.
Right there with his brother.
But what I will say is for this entire graphic, this is once again masterclass by Ansi Salah. He came
So
in
right
on
now,
fire.
wait, before you move on, let me make sure I understand this correctly.
Go ahead.
The projected salary is 180 million dollars,
Correct. Depends
and we can
on
go 7.8 million dollars over that before we get to the tax threshold.
correct.
By hitting the tax threshold, what does that mean?
We're into the tax. We will be into the luxury tax. We will pay whatever luxury tax costs come with that. And of course, if you go into luxury taxes again next year, then you will pay the repeater tax.
So then you have that. So the luxury tax is like ground zero, because then you have the apron, which they said is 195. Then you
Yeah.
have the second apron, which I believe is like 2 something.
Oh, don't
So-
worry about us. One thing we ain't doing, we probably not getting into the luxury tax. The Hawks duck the tax every year. And that's my only singular gripe that I believe that Trae Young has ever been able to say about Hawks management is you expect me to win and you won't touch the luxury tax. You won't pay for a winning team. You will pay for a play-in team. But in this case, I don't think there is a combination to create a team this deep and not get into the tax. This is the Trae Young team.
Do you think we're done?
No, I don't. Y'all better keep your eye on that dude. As long as honestly, Salah looking like he know Danny Ainge. If you know what that means,
Danny Ainge, full of hard knocks.
you better keep one eye open. Let me tell you, I'm happy he's on my team. Let me tell you that much.
So we talked about the Bucks. We talked about the Hawks. There's only one other combination to have the conversation here with when it comes to these two teams is nope, not where I was going. I was still talking about Bucks Hawks. It was what's the chances that Giannis gets traded, and we are the betting favorite. What do you give up if you decide to trade for Giannis?
Yes. So the reason that we would be the betting favorite is I explained to y'all that draft pick that we got from the Pelicans. That would be a big selling point for the Bucks is to get their draft pick back, specifically in what I told y'all was going to be a pretty good, strong draft here. For me, I would probably have to give up a Kongwu at like 20 million. And then it would have to be closer to the trade deadline, but Nickeil Alexander-Walker will probably be my other person to go. Unfortunately, I like Alexander Walker and I like Okongwu. But if you say, hey, if you can give me Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Onyeka Okongwu, and what I assume to be their first and probably one of our first for Giannis, I'm gonna have to make peace with it.
Yeah, I mean, Giannis
and then,
at the 5.
Then you gotta hope
at the 4.
You really gotta hope that Kristaps works out, and then you could sign him to a like 2 or 3, $15 to $20 million deal a year.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. The only other, and I don't think we would be able to get Giannis because I don't think we want to part with Ricochet or Jalen Johnson. And if I were any team dealing with the Hawks who were trying to position themselves to get a player of that caliber, you would have to give me Jalen Johnson because of his contract and his ability, and Ricochet because of his contract and his ability. Or somewhere in there is going to have to be Dyson Daniels. Like, there's no way I'd have to get 2 of those 3 in order to give up Giannis.
This is the thing. This is the reason that I've said that you sell now where there's no pressure. There is a little bit of lost leverage because of what your team looks like, but it's still salvageable at this point. Once a trade request is put in place, you're behind a rock. You're between a rock and a hard place, back in the corner, heading of ice. Did you have to get a deal done because Giannis basically owns this team? So at that point, you got to do a deal and you got to do it kind of fast. You don't get to do a whole lot of negotiating. So that's the reason I'm saying to these teams that know that they have a guy who basically controls their fate, best thing you can do is move before the scale goes too far in the opposite direction and you have no way out.
I don't see Giannis coming to Atlanta. I don't think we have enough assets that we're willing to give. I do see him going somewhere else. Like
Giannis
Houston,
to play the 5,
San Antonio, OKC all have the assets and picks to put together a better package than we have.
If you go to the Rockets,
still play 5. Played 5.
But you're gonna have to give up
Sengun. Cool.
And what else?
Probably Tari.
Is that better than
a couple picks?
Is
that
better
at the
than
5? KD at the 4. Amen Thompson at the 3. Who's the 2?
Amen is the 2. Fred VanVleet. That means your team is done in 2 years.
Who's the 3?
KD. Oh, Jabari.
Oh no, Jabari. Yeah, Jabari 4, KD 3. I mean, you got Jabari long term. You got Giannis for 3 years.
And if you're the Rockets, are you really interested in, like right now, if the Kevin Durant thing doesn't work out, you're very salvageable to keep the motor rolling. If you go for Giannis and you trade Jabari and Sengun, you're right. That's a better deal. But then it's Amen Thompson. And that's it. I don't think that's advisable. I'm not. No, because you still got to deal with. Okay, you still got to see
San Antonio. Okay, there's still San Antonio who did not make the move to get.
What
KD.
San Antonio have to give up?
Everything.
What's good?
Everything. But if you give up Giannis, you're going to need a whole team. So you can give up whatever guards they have. You can throw in Sochan. You got picks. You have
those guys. Yeah,
I forgot. Houston got Cam Whitmore. Like you got. I mean, there's a couple.
I don't think he's gonna be there long enough to be in the Giannis trade. Prayerfully, I want him to be in Atlanta Hawk. I don't know where we put him, but hey, matter of fact, I do. Luke Kennard. You can go.
Okay, what 6'7"? Well, I mean, that's your 3. That's
your
backup 3 right there.
I would prioritize Whitmore over Luke Kennard because Luke Kennard's on a 1 year, $11 million contract. You can go, bro. You can for sure
go. Braves came back. Come on.
Yep, 8-3. Yeah. Olsen hit a grand slam. Shout out. But yeah, I think that, and none of these teams have your pick. That pick is going to be better than any of the picks that these other teams can give you because they're not going to be lottery picks. They can give you their first round picks, but none of these are going to be. I mean, do you want a Rockets pick? Do you want to pick between 9? You want to cry in a Civic or you want to cry in a Rolls Royce? Pick one. But all of this to say, go Hawks, go Hawks, go Hawks, and shout out to the Pelicans. I hope Derek Queen is everything y'all need him to be. Or not. Let it be ghetto.
As good as he is, the worse our pick is. I hope he becomes really good after year 2. After year 1.
Yeah. Do everything after we're gone. After that pick has been picked. Man, and I'm so happy that King's pick finally conveyed, and it conveyed at the right time. What the Lord say may not come when you want it. It'll be there right on time. Boy, let me tell you. It's a message. There is
an on time. On time. Yeah. But I guess we're gonna move to the Lakers. Shout out to Houston. They did everything. They've added. I mean, their team is complete at this point. To me, they don't really need to move.
Speaking of on time, now before we get into DeAndre Ayton, I have to tell y'all, the Los Angeles Lakers are the most fortunate organization that I have encountered. I was looking at this team 2 years ago, and I'm like, you won that bubble chip, and you ain't been shit since. Then LeBron keep telling y'all, and Savannah keep telling y'all, it's about time. Street lights is on.
Tick, 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 tick.
Exactly. Father time is on your shoulder. You looking at Anthony Davis, man of glass. He'd never be a leader of your team. And on top of that, he getting older too. They look like they was out of spades. And then Nico deals Luka to the Lakers and gives them life out of nowhere. Then they think that they're going to sign Clint Capella and every other available center in free agency. They thought that they was going to get DFS. He said, nah, I'm going to Houston. Nope. Like, nobody is really banging with Houston right now for whatever reason. And then the Blazers get sick of, the Lakers. Correction. And
did you talk? Wait. Did you talk about Austin and LeBron saying they don't like playing with Luka?
I'm not saying that because I don't. Yeah, I try to stay away from speculation that it seems to be unfounded. I think that there's not one. You don't hit the undo button on that trade. You don't want Anthony Davis to put you back in purgatory. That is the Control Alt Delete. Just clear everybody out and start over. Luka gives the Lakers a future if they can sign him. But after all the centers were taken, Miles Turner goes to the Bucks, Steven Adams resigns, and Clint Capella signs with the Rockets unbelievably. When we think that the Lakers are down and out, Portland buys out DeAndre Ayton, and he foolishly signs with the Lakers instead of going east. I cannot for the life of me understand why you would want to go to the West and struggle when you could have gone to the Pacers
and been
flourished. And
George
and the Lakers tried to pay
Roy Hibbert on steroids, boy.
Exactly. But let's be real. This is the same guy who slept on an air mattress and makes poor life decisions. There's no surprise here. But DeAndre Ayton
run out of 2 towns, bro. That's why. See, that's what. Hey, look, bro.
Ain't done running, my boy. Ain't done running.
Shout out to folks that be that married to make sure that their kids get tall. You can be 7'1" and quit on your team twice. One in the largest stage of your profession and just get dubbed 50 points on 2s, and then quit. Say my stomach hurt. Get traded, get another contract, get bought out, and then go to LA and play with arguably the best point guard in the game and arguably the best player in the game of all time. That's arguable, but whatever, with LeBron.
But an argument to be had for sure.
You get to just fall in the lap of greatness. You play with Chris Paul, Devin Booker. Purgatory you went to were the Blazers. And that's on your doing.
Right. So for me, I think that this is a cool move. Sure. It doesn't, the Lakers don't have to play Jackson Hayes. So it's an upgrade. But it's not an upgrade in a way to like, this team is now good. This team is not one of the top 4 or 5 teams, I don't think, in the West.
It's unfortunate. They probably got better, but so did everybody else.
Right.
And now you have shout out. Hey, we here at the Splashcast will not become prisoners of the summertime workout moments. We've seen Ben Simmons hit 32 threes in a row. We now have seen Luka lose 100 pounds in 2 months. So while it does look good, you have 2 players on your team that had effort issues with Luka and DeAndre Ayton now. Talent-wise, they're there. Luka taps into the talent much more than Ayton is able to. But at the same time, you still have guys whose mental stability is 180 degrees away from LeBron James.
Just like I told y'all, Bruce Brown was going to take his ass back to Denver when he left Denver. I said he finna get this money, and he
Go
made
right
the
back
right
to
decision.
Joker.
I'll be right back. I got this chip. I gotta go get some dip, and then I'm a dip. That's what he did, and sure enough, that's what he did. This is going to end badly. Braun is going to bully Rob Pelinka, even though he took all the money so that they can't make this team better.
$52.6
They
million.
not going to
$52.1
blame
million.
Luka because they want to sign him long term because he's their only future plan, which you still have to keep. You got to keep your eye on him until he signed the contract. And then
this keeps you from looking hustled too. You look like
right.
a
yeah.
lick if you do that Luka getaway.
Oh man. And then finally, this is going to be the guy who gets blamed. When everything falls apart,
The Bahamian sensation, bro.
yep, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's going to become James Wiseman." There's just no place to save you. You just go from place to place to place and just get worse and worse and worse. And I'm waiting on it. I hate to see it that way. I don't really want to, rain on anybody's parade like that, but it's a harsh reality. Prepare for it.
Hey JJ.
Prepare for it.
JJ.
And they're gonna fire your ass too.
Jay. I don't know your real name. I'm calling you Jordan James. Jordan James Reddick. You, sir, or you're probably James Jr. James Reddick Jr. or John. You, sir.
Jingleheimer Smith.
You, sir.
That's my name too.
Got on a podcast with LeBron. I don't care what y'all say. This is my story, so I'm gonna say what I feel. This is my truth. And LeBron pulled some strings to get you get you the coach. You went in there and you had to fix it. And now you get Luka, an unhappy LeBron, and DeAndre Ayton.
Okay. You need to call Phil Jackson and talk about managing attitudes and egos, because that's what you're about to have a handful.
No, you don't. Don't call Phil Jackson, because those guys were driven. Phil Jackson ain't have no non-driven players. His non-driven player was Dennis Rodman. You need to go talk to Jimmy Johnson and learn about the superstar rules and figure out what they did and what brand of powder that he had flown in to make sure that everybody played and showed up.
That Peruvian.
Motivated.
That Peruvian.
Colombia. Oh man, yeah, but the Lakers, man, I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all shout out to the Lakers and the Knicks. We'll get to the Knicks later, but both of y'all look foolish, and I hate to say that because I want a black man to flourish, but y'all look dumb.
Speaking of people who we have no clue what we're doing, the Denver Nuggets
haircut.
the Denver Nuggets have pulled off quite the swindle here. They've traded Cam Johnson, who's on a 2-year, $44 million deal, which comes out to $22 million a year, for Michael Porter Jr., who was on 2 years, $78 million, and a first-round pick, unprotected, 2032. Now, that pick, while it may be 7 years away, is going to probably be a pretty damn good pick. But everybody will be fired by then, so it won't even matter.
Joker, he's going to own a whole stable of horses by then. He's going to have his own league of horse racing.
You won't even see him in America by then. He'll be gone. Now, for the Nuggets, this is an excellent replacement as a guy who can shoot probably equal to or greater than an infinitely better, to me, basketball mind, student of the game, hard worker, and more healthy for Michael Porter Jr., whose contract was just becoming an albatross. So the Nuggets upgrade. They got Bruce Brown back as well. They've actually quietly done a good job of retooling this team to keep Joker from wanting out. Now, on the other hand, the Brooklyn Nets are going to be doing literally anything. Now, the current running joke is the Nets just had 5 first-round picks, and they're basically all point guards. And it didn't make sense until they got Michael Porter Jr., and now you have Cam Jordan. No. Cam
4 years,
Thomas.
$100 million.
No, Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas.
Yeah, Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr., who only shoot the ball. Literally, the only thing they do is shoot. They shoot all the time. They shoot early. They shoot late. So what it is y'all 5 new guys pass us the ball. Claxton,
Nick,
you rebound the
go
black
get the
shot.
rebound. Go get the rebound. Yeah,
I'm gonna shoot 25 shots. Cam gonna shoot 25 shots, and y'all gonna be happy.
And also, this copycat league, sports, football, basketball, baseball is a copycat league. Everybody's going to try to take the Sam Presti approach. And they are going, because everybody can't take the Indiana approach, because if you look at Indiana, they hit on every draft pick and trade that they had since Tyrese Halliburton. They traded for Tyrese Halliburton, traded for Obi Toppin, traded for Naismith, drafted Nembhard, drafted Shepard, drafted Miles Turner. Like everything that they hit. In terms of being able to have the assets, there's 2 teams that have all the assets over the last 5 years in terms of draft capital and all of that. Really 3. They're all in the West. It was Houston, really 4. Houston, San Antonio, OKC, and the Utah Jazz. 3 of those 4 teams have all flipped it. One into a championship team, one into a team that we assume is going to be a championship caliber roster, and San Antonio flipped it into having an alien and everybody else. The only other team is Utah, who right now holds all the cards, and it's my time. So the Nuggets had to figure out what they were going to do in terms of getting better. And Michael Porter Jr.'s contract, shout out, I never hate on the black man getting money. Never hate on it. But he had a back injury so bad that he couldn't play. And he parlayed that into $166 million.
That's what happens when you get drafted late to a championship team and you're a part of it. And even though you don't deserve the money, they want to keep the team together, so they just pay you. Woo!
Then they fire the coach and trade Bruce Brown. And then but I mean,
Bruce
hey,
Brown I want my money. I got my ring.
Indiana Pacers. But shout out, Brooklyn. Brooklyn's doing what they do. We'll take all the money. All the money. We'll be terrible for 3 years. And we'll just keep drafting. And then in 2030, which I'm assuming if this 2032 pick, in 2030, 2029, 2020, 2030, Brooklyn will make a lot of moves.
Or you have 5 draft picks you drafted. At least you hope that 2 of them are good, right? And y'all have put together.
Or you pull a Danny Ainge, stockpile everybody, and then hey, y'all got to come see me eventually. You need a point guard, and you need a point guard.
Yeah, I got what size you need. I got 6'1" to 6'9", baby. I got them all.
The Nuggets added Tim Hardaway Jr., Bruce Brown, Jonas Valanciunas, and Cam Johnson. Quiet, good offseason. You got a shooter, spot up shooter, defensive player, energy guy. I've never seen.
You got 2 shooters. You got Cam and Tim Hardaway Jr. You got a glue guy who's been here before, and you got Jonas Valanciunas who's just big. So you actually replace your DeAndre, what's his name? Who just got too old. Yeah, DeAndre Jordan, who just got too old, with another guy who big as hell. Good job.
I've never seen a guard center forward. I've never seen that from the aspect of a somebody that's a guard size that guards the 1 through the 4. Bruce Brown guards everybody. It don't matter who it is. He's 6'2", maybe, but he guard everybody, and they be upset. And shout out to the Nuggets, man. Shout out to the Nuggets. What else we got? Who else we got? Going to the East. Nope, going to Memphis.
This is actually, I think, a solid deal. $240 million for 5 years. He's been the only basically regularly available adult on the Grizzlies. They gotten rid of Dylan Brooks. They got rid of Marcus Smart. They got rid of, they got rid of Ja, but Ja beat John. And him and Zach Edey have found a way to kind of partner and play pretty well together. This is a well-deserved contract. I know that I've heard that people think that this is an overpay. This is what people who are this tall, who are defensive player of the year candidates cost. He can shoot, he can play defense, and he's 8 feet tall. This is what they
defensive player of the year. I mean, at this point, and this is not a fully max, is it? This is only $48 million.
Yeah. This is the non. He didn't get. I don't think he was. I'm not sure if he was an all-star, but he also wasn't all NBA, so he didn't get like the super duper max. It's just, I mean, this is what you're gonna pay for these type of guys. This is what him and Evan Mobley are going to be. They're gonna be linked for their entire career. And whatever you pay one guy, you have to pay the next guy a little bit more money. It's just how it works.
Good old Zach Randolph. You knew Zach Randolph, big dog. You are the next. They're gonna love you forever. You may not win nothing there because unfortunately you're in the West. If they ever add another team, maybe they'll bring y'all East and y'all can,
best of luck.
Actually,
and I mean,
no, they won't,
they'll
bring New Orleans East first. They'll bring New Orleans East first. So I mean, but he's a good player. Yeah. He's a good player. I would have loved to see him be paired with somebody else, but at least they're giving him his money and they're going to use him as a building block. Him and Zach Edey, you're right, do make a good combination.
You would ideally wish that Zach Edey was more like him and could also shoot the ball. But just like Evan Mobley, these guys, for them to be their best evolution themselves, I think they both need to move to the 5. But if you move them to the 5, question is, will they be exposed as not being the defensive player of the year guys that they look like? Because in both cases, you've had, even before he had Zach Edey, he had Steven Adams. You had a guy to bolster the paint so that you could be a backside rim protector, which allows you to be elite.
It ain't broke. Why change it? Yeah, you can be defensive player of the year, backside rim protector all day, dog. I will put a 7'7" dude there every time to allow you to recover. But you do need to get a 3 though. They need a 3 so bad.
They got Jalen Wells and they drafted Chris Cowherd, who they believe is going to be an elite shooter at like 6'5", 6'9", 6. Yeah, he's 6'5". He got like 6'9". Him and Jalen Wells is also 6'8". So they got it covered. They actually increased.
What's
they
young
did
boy
kinda,
that plays in the church drums?
Jalen Wells. Yeah. They got Gigi. So they've done a good job. The reason I say that in both cases, those guys need to move to the 5 is because you want a 4 that could probably get you 20 points too. Because when you play OKC, when they move Chet to the 5, that gives them an opportunity to put one more guy on the floor who can score. And it's a little bit different in the West. But coming out of the East and dealing with the Pacers, you're going to need 8 guys that can score 15, 20 points. And if you don't have that, and I think that's where Cleveland's stuck right now, is Jarrett Allen's good on defense, but if the other team is scoring 140 points, you only scoring 110, you're going to lose every time.
Yeah, I think this was a reality check for some people. A lot of people, for the longest, defense has always kept you in the game and got you where you needed to go eventually. Right. Even with the Warriors. The Warriors, as good as they were, when they needed to lock in defensively is when they became like otherworldly.
Right.
You are going to have to be able to, it's going to change now. You're going to have to basketball players are so efficient and so skilled now that getting 10 to 15 points ain't nothing but, hey, this 7th man off the bench just hit Aaron Nesmith. Hit 6 threes in the 4th quarter of the NBA playoff game in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like at that point, it's like Obi.
You got New York got rid of. Can't win with him. Pace like, don't worry about it. What you want? Come off the bench, just dunk the ball, shoot some threes, and do whatever.
Run fast, boom, run, jump, gazelle. And Obi the gazelle topping.
Right. Those guys, and I can understand that there's a change now with the CBA. You're not just going to be able to pay everybody. You're going to have to find guys who are good players in the middle. This game is going to be won on the margins. You get 2 superstars. This is now NBA Jam for all intents and purposes. You get your 2 guys, maybe 2.5 guys, if you're going into luxury tax apron business. But you get into that business, it's very tough to get out. Ask Phoenix. So best thing you can do is do like the Hawks. Hey, man, this is what we got. But we're going to spread it around evenly, and we're going to spread these points around evenly.
Yeah. I don't like the Ty Jerome pick here. We can talk about it quick if you want.
This was a good pickup for points.
Solid regular season pickup.
Yeah, but they need to raise their regular season floor first. The West is going to be very important to see how high you can be seated. Because if you fall low and have to deal with OKC or you have to deal with Houston, you're going home.
What's the top 4 seeds in the West right now that you would say?
T-Wolves, OKC, Rockets,
Spurs.
No, not yet.
If they were what 4 when Vic was healthy? They were like 4th.
Let's see here. So, Nuggets.
Yeah. Okay. So, that's my point. Ain't nothing you can do if you don't you gotta face somebody. If you 5, 6, 7, 8, it's over with. You through. Yo. Ain't nothing you can do.
Oh, don't forget about the Clippers.
Ooh, James Harden and Kawhi. We ain't even talk about them.
Right.
Over there. Ain't even talk about the Lakers. We
Mavericks.
Lakers.
Maverick.
Yeah, sure. You tell me all you want about Ty Jerome. Cool. Ain't nothing. Ain't too much you can do, bro. Jaren Jackson Jr., go ahead. You had turf toe surgery. Go ahead and tell him to put a bionic toe on there. Go ahead and take 12 months off, big dog.
Yeah.
Because it's the Grizzlies toast. Grizzlies, Pelicans.
Right now, the Western Conference for me: Thunder at 1, Rockets at 2, Nuggets at 3, Timberwolves at 4, interchangeable. Then you got Warriors, Grizzlies, Mavericks. Jesus. And
you have the Clippers before you said any of those other teams.
Oh, you already at 8. Oh my God. Oh
no, it's over for the Grizzlies, bro. Unless Ja play well. If Ja plays well.
Get me out the East. Get me out the West. I'm going DeAndre Ayton, you're a fool. You have you just make all the worst decisions that can be made, sir. Why would you go? I can't. Woo-wee. But we ain't gonna linger on people making poor life decisions. We're gonna linger on people getting paid. Congratulations, Julius. And I want to give a special shout out to Julius because people talk so bad about him while he was in New York. Oh, he's trash. He sucks. He can't win. He can't be anything. Minnesota said he could be something for us. And paid him. He got another $100 million bag. Congratulations to Julius. And this is also with the way things are going. If it doesn't work out, it's a perfectly reasonable
tradable contract. $33 million.
Yes.
So Julius was exactly what Julius has been. The thing that Julius is gonna be is consistent. He's gonna be consistent. He's gonna get you 15, 18, 20, and 12. He's going to be there. He's going to look like a world beater. And then in the playoffs, when it counts, he's going to disappear.
But he's
going to get you one game, but the other 3 that you need, he ain't going to be there at all.
Shout out to the stupid ass Pelicans. I told y'all to trade Zion for Julius when Julius was in New York and they started talking bad about it. And y'all kept Zion, and Zion don't play. And Julius
he just don't play on the court.
What he does with Mariah Mills is none of our business.
Bounce houses. That boy love bounce houses.
Bell's House of Paradise. Now, I will say sneaky good deal here. The Cleveland Cavaliers offload Isaac Okoro on a 2-year, $22 million deal for Lonzo Ball on a 2-year, $20 million deal, which is actually a 1-year deal with a club option. Respectfully, Okoro sucks. He's trading for DeAndre Hunter and still needing 2 more small forwards is crazy. The Bulls don't know what they're doing, but they had so many point guards. I guess it made sense to get rid of one of them. As you had Josh Giddey, you got Ayo Dosunmu, you have Kobe White. There was just a logjam at the point guard position. Moving Lonzo, while I think that I don't know, I would not have traded him to a team that is literally so close to me. I think that's a bad idea. Lonzo in Cleveland is a perfect fit. You just had Darius Garland, who came off a toe issue. You have a small backcourt with Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. Lonzo can play with both of them as the lead guard, let Darius score instead of always facilitating. Donovan Mitchell and Lonzo Ball is a scary backcourt tandem. And he's a 6'6" defender. You could honestly damn near play him at the 3 if you wanted to and just let him go for it. You could play a 3-guard lineup that would be scary.
Yeah. Lonzo's worth more than this contract to me. From if he can stay healthy, he's a $15-20 million a year player.
I've been begging for Lonzo to come to the Atlanta Hawks.
Lonzo is one of the last facilitator first point guards. And we always talk about teams that need somebody to get their star players easy shots. I think we talked about Boston for the last 2 years.
Always.
They just needed somebody to get them an easy shot. Cleveland is another team that needed somebody to get them easy shots. Donovan Mitchell was phenomenal. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal. But everything he had to do on his own. It was either
and he was doing
pull up on the pick, or he has to go 1-on-3 and dunk on somebody, or do something crazy. He's not a facilitator, nor is
Darius is a solid facilitator.
Darius is good.
He's still a combo guard, though. He's still a bucket, but Lonzo is just the prototype.
Lonzo, this signing is more for Evan Mobley than anybody else, because Lonzo's going to get Evan Mobley the ball in the pockets that he wants, whether it's on the baseline at the baseline jumper, at the elbow so he can turn right or turn left looking like LaMarcus Aldridge, or if you want to get him to face up and get him the ball in the position where he can swing real fast and make a move. Evan Mobley just took too long to make a move sometimes. When he just played, he was really, really good.
Right.
And I think Lonzo allows for the fluidity of the offense.
I agree.
And takes everything off of Donovan. Now Donovan can just play. He ain't got to go out there and play 72 minutes. And
this allows you to have some injury insurance. Now, Lonzo, be injured. But if you go into a situation like the playoffs last year, and instead of Isaac Okoro, you have and DeAndre Hunter. He's going to help him out. Well, Hunter don't shoot. Hunter don't pass, but he will shoot the open shot. Lonzo will be able to collapse the offense and kick to an open shooter. And one thing that we know Hunter will do is shoot the ball. Him and Max Strus. Like, this is a great pickup. And I think that they actually make it a lot more difficult on the Pacers had they had Lonzo last year, because, a healthy Lonzo. It's always health with Lonzo more than anything. But yeah, I think this is a great deal.
Yep.
Great deal.
Yep.
What
do you feel about before we move on, because we didn't really talk about other than Julius. Naz Reid got that contract too. So now Julius, Naz Reid. Oh, well, there you go. Julius and Naz Reid is both $100 million guys plus Ant.
Rudy
right. They're gonna give Rudy away at this point. Give him to the Lakers.
You're gonna have to find somebody to take him though, because everybody. The answer for everything is Brooklyn. Brooklyn is the dumping ground. When you don't have anything else, you give him Brooklyn. The issue is they gave up all their draft picks to Utah to get Rudy. You're gonna have to pay the toll for somebody to take that contract.
You should have been looking at the Lakers. And I think that's probably still being looked at if
you can't. They ain't got the money.
Rid of LeBron. If they trade LeBron, sure. I think that's what you would probably do.
Yeah. Now that part will be great for Luka, because you got a guy.
Threat defense. That's what
that's your insurance policy. So yeah, but there are just not many people who can take a $50-ish million contract. So it's gonna be interesting. Sure. You probably, I think Jeremy Grant got to be up any day now. So they're going to have some flexibility, and they got some parts. It just sucks that Scoot may never materialize into, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with him. But Naz Reid, 5 years, 125 million. Kyrie, 3 years, 119 million on a torn Achilles, ACL, whatever it is.
ACL. No, it's too different
crazy.
now.
You're right. But he ain't coming back next season. And y'all need to stop. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, stop showing all these graphics with Kyrie Irving when y'all talk about the Mavericks. Put D'Angelo Russell there and then tell me how you feel about that team. It ain't gonna be the same. If you tell me you feel confident about D'Angelo Russell, Klay Thompson, Cooper Flag, AD, and Derek Lively, I'm gonna question your brain. That backcourt is basura. Unless
front court.
If no. The one thing
backcourt. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. Jason Kidd did. He put the ball in Giannis's hands when he was very young and said, hey, just play point guard. We don't got one. I think that if there's ever a season to do that, hey, Cooper Flag, just play point guard. What do you mean? Just go play point guard. I've never played point guard. I know. Just do it. You're never going to actually be our point guard. But when we get everybody back, I want you to be confident in crushing the paint and passing to open shooters. Or Cooper and AD can just terrorize people with, I guess that's the strangest 3-4 pick and roll I've ever heard of, which should be like a 4-5 pick and roll, which probably should be a 5-5 pick and roll. Whatever it is, I don't know what you do with it. But yeah, just make sure y'all acknowledge D'Angelo Russell as a starting point guard for Dallas Mavericks before you get excited. We talked about Julius. James signs a 2-year, $81 million re-up with the with the Clippers. This is a team-friendly deal, allows them to kind of do some things. It's a good move. Gafford re-ups 3 years, $54 million with the Mavs. It's a very tradable deal. I think that he probably gonna be traded. Fred VanVleet. He made a very good business decision. 2 years, $50 million, $25 million a year to stick around and try to win a chip. Bobby Portis overpaid 3 years, $45 million, 44, so like 14 and some change. Steven Adams, 3 years, $39 million. I think that this might be an overpay, but he's a good. I don't hate it. Who is that at 4? Oh, Sam Merrill, 4 years, $38 million. I guess if you wanted to keep him.
I know. No.
Ain't my business. One thing I do really appreciate is the guys who are not on my team, but in direct competition, signing people who I think are questionable. Great job. Jalen Williams signs a 3-year, $24 million deal to stay with the OKC Thunder. I think that's excellent career management. I think if you want to win another championship, you might not, go for all the money and get what you can get. And then we go. Go back.
So you ran through. What's the best signing of the day on here for you?
Naz Reid, 5 years, 125. It's a good deal. You can trade
get in Naz Reid for $25 million
or Julius. It's the Timberwolves. Either Timberwolves deal is a slam dunk. All the rest of the deal not great. I mean, Gafford deal not bad, but
so that's what I was about. So that's what I was about to say is Naz Reid and Minnesota. Minnesota has positioned themselves with these two contracts to be able, like you said, they're tradable and they can still get stuff back if need be to be able to rebuild around Ant and sell Ant. Because eventually, Ant ain't nothing but 23, 24. So you're going to have to re-sign him soon, right when he enters this prime. So I think that they're able to try this out, kind of like what the Hawks are doing. You're able to try this iteration out for a couple years, and then if it doesn't work, we can just press the restart button and pay Ant all the money and figure it out from there.
But yeah, and you keep your superstar engaged where it's not like we trying, clearly. You can't be mad with us for doing our best to try to make it work. Next up, Brooke, 2 years, $19 million for the Clippers. I think this is a slam dunk deal. This is a backup for Zubac. He's also a guy who I heard people say him and Zubac could play together. I guess that would be interesting. I feel like that would be very slow, but you get every rebound. I just think that when you take Zubac out, if you put James Harden and Kawhi and Brook there, you got spacing and shooting, which is a good thing to have. Kevon Looney to the Pelicans, him, Jordan Poole. I don't understand this at all. I don't know what the Pelicans are doing. You just got Derek Queen. You got Yves Missy. I feel like there's another center on that roster. And then your fours, Zion also got the same shooting profile. He ain't shooting a three, so you got a lot of people in the same spot. D'Angelo Russell, 2 years, $12 million to go to the Mavericks. This is a shot at a chip, I guess, and this is probably one of the better places for him to go. It's cool enough. Batum, back to the Clippers. We're going to be asking the question for the rest of our life. It's the fourth quarter. Why is Batum in? They're doing the best they can with what they got. I don't hate it. I just feel like it's getting older and older and older. They need getting rid of Shea, like really kind of just made it seem so old, and they just keep getting older. The Lakers, 2 years, $12 million for Jake LaRavia. I guess.
I mean, you don't really got to go through all of these, do you? A lot of these role players, huh?
Yeah. I mean, Baselli, we already talked about him. Yeah, we kind of at the end. And Bruce, I'm happy Bruce back with the Nuggets. You got anything for any of these people? Reggie don't give a damn.
I don't care about. I mean, D'Angelo Russell is intriguing because I think D'Angelo Russell, what is a steal? I think for fault of his own and none of his own, has a reputation where that precedes his talent. I think his talent makes this an incredible value. The Knicks, what the hell? I like Yabusele. Y'all have had no plan.
Yeah.
No plan. No
Still
plan.
I think that Brook is
Tyus Jones is probably the best one for me because you replace Cole Anthony with a facilitator first, which is what they need. They need somebody to pass the ball. They got a lot of scores.
They need somebody to score. They need a guard who can.
They got Jalen Suggs back.
Yeah,
they're assuming they paid him. They're assuming that's what he's going to be.
You're right. They plan for some positive regression there. I think that Brook is the best deal here, but I think that he's the best deal because y'all kept him out of LA. I know that's crazy to say, but especially imagine if they had got Brook and Ayton, then you might have had a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have more of a problem.
Brook Lopez, he's amazing, bro. He's like 40.
Right, and you got a twin brother, Robin, like, I'm out. And then what we got here? We talked to Asante Aldama, I guess. This is it.
Oh no, this is Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker.
DFS to the Rockets. I think that might be the best one. Once again, keeping him away from the Lakers. Keep away is damn near half the battle here.
I think he wanted to leave the Lakers. I don't think he wanted to stay.
Karis LeVert to the Pistons was kind of heartbreaking.
Upgrade over Tim Hardaway Jr.
Is he? Tim Hardaway he's a student. He's a better scorer.
Tim Hardaway Jr. went super cold in the second half of the season.
I mean, right. But either way, it's a great flip, if anything. And he's a Michigan guy too, so. But I think that this rounds up. Nope. We almost forgot about your boy.
No, it's two things we got to talk about.
Let's do this first. Breaking news from Shams Charania. U.S. District Attorney's Office is investigating Detroit Pistons Malik Beasley on allegations of gambling related to NBA games. Prop best sources told ESPN serious development surrounding one of the NBA's top free agents. He literally has tricked off all of his money. Probably more than that. And the bad part is, first of all, the NBA investigators are going to go back and look at all of your clips. And let me tell you, you look guilty. You look guilty as hell. The most guilty ever to exist. And the other part is all the lawsuits he was already in are now like all over the place. He is into a lawsuit with his dentist that he didn't pay. He is into a lawsuit for his barber who he didn't pay. And it is getting bad. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And in the words of 50 Cent, I can't lie. It looks like you did it. Guilty until proven innocent. And Terry Rozier just beat his charges. But
what? I don't want to know. Actually, I don't want to know. But I was going to ask. I was going to say he didn't blow all his money, but he's blown all his money. Whoever he owes. They are
Larsa. Y'all better stay away from Larsa Pippen. She gonna ruin y'all lives.
She
laughing but very serious.
He he pledged his future contracts to whoever his debtors are. I don't know who they are.
You better stop playing with the people in Detroit, though. They're gonna go see a man by the dog.
Yeah, they're gonna get you, bro.
In more refreshing news, Mike Brown has been hired by the New York Knicks as their new head basketball coach. I don't find this move to be exciting or interesting at all. I think that if you're going to get rid of Tom Thibodeau, you probably should have got something better. But the fact that you didn't, that's your problem. Good luck and Godspeed.
What are y'all thinking? Like, okay, Tom Thibodeau, you said focuses too much on defense, doesn't play everybody, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Offense is stagnant, doesn't really evolve. Mike Brown is a watered down version of Tom Thibodeau. Yeah. Mike Brown is a defensive coach first, whose offense and players, most recently in Sacramento, had an issue with the way that the offense runs. This is the exact same thing. What are y'all doing? The Knicks, this is why we make fun of you. This is why we laugh at you. And look, I don't want to bury the lead. Shout out to a black man for getting another job after he was scapegoated in Sacramento. Like, shout out to him, Mike Brown, even though you are now going to be the scapegoat of New York. This is like a Mike Woodson hire. Y'all remember when they hired Mike Woodson after the Hawks fired? Same thing. Like, but the Knicks, y'all
That's
look
not my
foolish.
problem.
Y'all look more foolish than Jim Jones. Y'all look New York. Y'all gotta have a come to Jesus moment up there. All of y'all just saying just flagrant wild things and doing flagrant wild things and not planning, firing coaches with no other what's up, Dub? With no plan, like going into the April, trading 5 picks. It's like, what are y'all doing, New York? What's the play here? What's the plan? What's the move?
No, don't have one. Don't have one. Just let us figure it out and let us get to figuring, and then we gonna be okay. We gonna be all right. And there it is right there. Y'all heard the motor woman up outside. We are at the end of this. It has been real. It has been fun. Reggie, do you have any parting words for the people?
Do I start off this 4th of July weekend with some fireworks after this? Yes, sir. Have a good time.
And we're waiting on the Hawks to spend the other $7.5 million. Well, we probably won't spend the whole thing. We probably spend about $5 million. We're gonna want to keep some pocket money just in case things get tricky.
Too many injuries.
Yep.
Scorned.
Outside of that, adios, mi amigos. God is love. Until we meet again. Adios. Arrivederci. We out this thing. And best of luck to your team. And I don't mean that unless your team is the Hawks. I'm disingenuous and I don't care about you. We out.
Follow, subscribe. Like, follow, subscribe.